Where do I even start? Where do I even start? Listen, welcome back to the channel. Yeah, my name is Mordzs. Where do I even start? Manchester United just beat Arsenal in the FA Cup third round. 5-3 on penalties. You know what? Round of applause. And if you're watching this, I hope you give a round of applause as well, because that is deserved. Yeah, that is deserved, because these players, oh my gosh, these players and this manager deserve all the credit. They deserve flowers. They deserve everything for what they've done today. Now, I can't lie, the Real Madrid game is on right now. It is 5-2 to Real Madrid. Oh my gosh, and so, yeah, they almost just scored. Look, I'm gonna try and record this video, but if you see my eye just wandering off a little bit, it's because I'm watching the Real Madrid game. But listen, let's talk about Arsenal. Let's talk about Arsenal FC, whatever you want to call them: Stoke FC, Tony Pulis FC, Corner FC, Set Piece FC. Let's talk about that team. Your season's done. Arsenal, your season's done. I just want you to know that. If no one's told you already, I'm gonna tell you now. Your season is done. Pack it up. Start thinking about summer. Start thinking about summer now, Arteta. Forget whatever your next games are. Start thinking about the summer. Yeah, because that's the most important time for you. Everything else about this season is done. Don't worry about the Premier League. Don't worry about the Champions League. Listen, none of that concerns you. Yeah, none of that should concern you anymore. Your season is finished. You're out of the Carabao Cup. I know you get the second leg. Yeah, cool, whatever. You can win. You can technically win. You're not going to win. Yeah, you're not gonna win. You're not going St. James Park and bagging 3 goals and conceding 0. It ain't happening. Especially considering how you played today. You ain't bagging nothing. The way you played today, I mean, we'll get on to Havertz in a sec, but you ain't bagging nothing the way you're playing today. And you just got knocked out by the 13th place team in the Premier League. Pack it up. Your season's finished. I don't want to hear nothing about Arsenal fans for the rest of the season. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't care how many games you go and win. Your season is done. Pack it in. Reel it in. Reel it in. That to me was an embarrassing performance from Arsenal. Embarrassing. I'll tell you, you're 6 years in, you know. 6 years in. Look. Look, let's have an honest conversation now. Like I don't even want to joke around too much in it. Yeah, I do want to joke around a bit, but let me actually be serious right now. I'll tell you, 5-6 years into his tenure at Arsenal, he got one little scrappy FA Cup at the start of his career. He won about 3 games. Arsenal still finished like 8th in the league. It means nothing. He won a couple Community Shields. Again, nobody cares. Look, trophies save jobs. Yeah, trophies are what mean a lot to players. They mean a lot to fans. They mean a lot to clubs. For a club that's supposed to be a big club, for you to struggle this much to win a trophy, it's embarrassing. To me, Arsenal, I look at Arsenal as being like just above Tottenham right now. If I'm being honest. In terms of the size of a club, in terms of winning, Arsenal, you're just above Tottenham. Chelsea win, Liverpool win, United win, City win. Arsenal don't win. They don't have it in them. And the FA Cup is supposed to be Arsenal's trophy. I said on the United stand, we talk about United all the time about the environment to succeed, the environment to be the best isn't at United. It's not at the training ground. It's not on the pitch. It's not throughout the club. We don't have that environment of we want to be the best. We haven't had that environment since Fergie probably left. Arsenal don't have the environment to win. I don't think the Arsenal changing room is a changing room where players are going in there thinking, wow, like this is a team full of winners. This is a team full of players who are out here thinking, I'm going to do everything that I can to make sure that on that pitch, we have to win that game. This was a must win for Arsenal. It was a must win. There was no second guessing. There was no 2 ways about it. Arsenal had to go out there today at home, and go and win, especially because they just lost to Newcastle. You have to bounce back. If you go and lose to Newcastle at home as well in a Carabao Cup, yes, you still got a second leg, but it's still a bad loss. You got to come to United and win this game. You have to. And that is what I mean when I say the mentality of winners. Arsenal are not a winning club. I'm sorry. The mentality in that club right now, yes, you can talk about what happened in 2004 all you want. You can talk about it all day. You can sing about it, which you guys sing about every day anyway. But it ain't 2004 no more. We're in 2025. We're in 2025. United are not the same team that we was in 2013. You know what I mean? That we still we've still kept a little bit of our winning mentality, but we're still not the same team that we was or the same club that we was back then. Arsenal aren't the club that they was back then. That winning mentality is not there. And there's a lot of these players, a lot of the players that are in your team, they've got to look at themselves. They've got to take a long, hard look at themselves in the mirror when they get home. And they have to ask themselves, did I do everything that I could do today to win this game? And a lot of them cannot say that. That is facts. A lot of Arsenal fans cannot go out there and say, you know what, I put in a shift. I did what I needed to do to win that game. I did what I needed to do to make my team succeed. They didn't do it, and that's why you lost. That is why you Arsenal, I'm not saying you Arsenal fans, but I'm just saying that's why Arsenal lost, because the players didn't have that winning mentality. And at the end of the day, that comes down to the manager. That comes down to the manager, because the manager has to instill, whatever that word is. The manager has to convince or to persuade, is not even the right word. I don't know what word I'm thinking of, but the manager's got to put that into his players. He's got to make his players believe, look, you guys are the best team in the league. You guys are the best team in the world. You got to push that mentality into your players. You got to push the mentality of you guys are good enough to do this. I don't think Arsenal had that mentality. They look scared at some point. I'll be honest. They look like at some point. I was looking at Arsenal thinking they don't believe they're gonna win. They do not believe they're gonna win this game. They had the ball for like the majority of the second half and into extra time, and I still didn't think they thought they were gonna win. I'm looking at the players like Havertz. Embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. What kind of a joke of a... Let me not even do too much in it, but is that your goal scorer? Is that the guy who you guys rely on to score goals? Is that the guy who you guys are saying is your number one guy to go and get you some goals now that Saka's gone? Is that your king? Odegaard, is that your GOAT? Is that your captain? Odegaard? Is that your star player? Really? After that performance, that's the guy you're calling your star player? It's embarrassing. Honestly, Arsenal fans, if you're watching this, comment please. What is this? Like, what is this? Is this the team that you think is going to win the Premier League? Or are you going to tell me that, when Saka's back, everything's going to be different? If you guys rely on Saka this much to win you big trophies, I'm sorry, you will never see a big trophy in your life. If this is what your team looks like, if Saka's not in there, you will never ever win a big trophy in your life, ever. Ever. You do not have it in you. If the other players are playing like this when their best player is out, you're just a joke of a team. Every single big team, every single great team, you look at the United team from '99, they played the final without Keane and Scholes. They played it without their captain. They played it without one of their best players in the team, and they still went and won. You look at even Real Madrid. Yeah, was it last season when they won the Champions League? Either last season when they won the Champions League or 2 years ago when they won the Champions League or whenever. I remember in the semi-final, Vinny came out, Rodrigo came out. Ancelotti took out all his big players. I think the only player that really stayed was Jude. He took out his big players, but everybody else put in a shift. All the other players came and they put in shifts because it don't matter if your big players ain't on the pitch. Everybody else believed that they were good enough to go and win that game. And they did. They went and won the game. Arsenal, the other players don't have that. Your other players don't have that belief that they're good enough to go and win a game without Saka. I don't see it. When Declan Rice came on, he kind of gave a bit more energy. He had some good chances that to buy in there saved. But other than that, everybody else kind of looked like they didn't know what to do. It was shocking performance for a team that you're coming up against a 13th place team in the Premier League. Yeah, it's Manchester United, but that's a 13th place team in the Premier League. You have to be doing better. You have to. It's a poor result. And look, moving, like I said, I just feel like questions are going to have to be asked. It's uncomfortable questions. It's uncomfortable conversations, but they have to be had. Arsenal, where are you at this point? Where do you think Arteta is going to take you? And if you don't think he can take you to the point you want him to take you to, you've got to start having conversations. You've got to start talking to other people. Because how much longer can you go? This whole we play good football thing is dead now. It's actually dead now. It was good the first season because it was a bit of Arsenal are actually really good. They're playing really good football. And you came second. And it was like, you know what? They're not too far of a title. Second season came. Again, the majority of the season they were first, but they were playing good football. They went kind of far in the Champions League. I think they got knocked out by Bayern or something. I can't remember. But they were playing well. And it was like, okay, cool. I can see the progress. I can see what they're doing. They've got a bit further now in the Champions League. They pushed the title a bit further with City. They're 1 or 2 years away from winning the title. Now, not only is your football the regress, not only has the quality of your football on the pitch gone down, you're being knocked out of cups. You're losing your draw. In the Premier League, you're drawing very easy games or games that you should be winning. I think you got like how many? I don't know how many draws Arsenal have. I'll find out. But you're drawing very easy games. You're getting knocked out of cups. Your star players are not stepping up. Everybody kind of looks a bit shook. I saw Xerxes drop Saliba to the ground. Oh my gosh! I watched this. Joshua Xerxes, probably one of our most out of form players, drop Saliba, the best defender in the world, to the ground. And you think that's the team that's going to get you to win a trophy? You think those are the players that are going to get you to win the Premier League? It's impossible. I want to give flowers to certain players. First player I want to give flowers to, Bayern. Altay Bayern d'Or. That's what we're going to call him. Altay Bayern d'Or, because that performance was Bayern d'Or worthy. You know what I'm saying? It was Ballon d'Or worthy. Look, we wrote him off. Let's be real. We wrote him off. After that Spurs game, we wrote him off because that was an absolute stinker. That was horrible. And it was... I felt like his confidence had to have been crushed through that. Not like as in like I wanted it to, but I can't imagine what it would have been like for him to obviously be the reason why United knocked out the Carabao Cup. And you're not even a starting player. It's not like you can redeem yourself the next game. You have to just wait for your next opportunity to come before you can redeem yourself. And it came, and to be fair, man of the match performance. Man of the match performance. Saved 2 penalties in a game. Wow. So Altay Bayern d'Or, my man of the match. That's straight up my man of the match. And it wasn't even just the penalty saves. You know, you had some big saves. I mean, Declan Rice had a header, a very like close range header that he saved. He made a couple other decent saves. A bit more commanding. Yeah, I think his distribution was still terrible, if I'm being honest. His distribution was still bad. He was just kicking it long. He was missing. He wasn't really getting into him. Getting 21, we were losing possession a lot because of his clearances. But end of the day, look, I've said this so many times when De Gea left. Being a goalkeeper is just all about stopping the ball from going in your net. Yes, playing out the back is cool, but if we concede more goals than we score, it don't matter if we score 10 goals. If we concede 12, we've lost the game. It don't matter. We need to stop the ball from going in our net first, and at least you look. I know playing for a draw don't make sense, but the way I look at it is you should always set up the game so you draw first, and then you can find out how to win after that. If you set up the game to go and how can we score, but you completely disregard and you forget the whole concept of they can also score too, the whole game is just going to be a case of well, we're scoring but we're conceding. And as we know, if they score more than us, then we lose the game. To me, that makes no sense. You should always set up a game thinking, okay, let's set it up to not lose, and then figure out how to then go and win. Because I think when it comes to goalkeepers, all this whole playing at the back is cool, but you need to have a goalkeeper that can stop that ball from going in the net. And I think Bayern d'Or, he did that today. Now, don't get it twisted. I'm not going to get carried away. There's some people that are saying, should he start against Southampton? No, we shouldn't start against Southampton. Let's be very honest. But I think Onana should still be the main goalkeeper, in my opinion, for United. Not because I think he's miles better than Bayern, but I think when it comes to being a goalkeeper, you have to stick with your number one. You have to have confidence in your number one. De Gea, when he first came in, wasn't the greatest, and eventually, Ferguson stuck with him, and eventually, he became our best player at one point. He was getting player of the season every year. He was world class at some point for United. So for me, I'd still obviously stick with Onana, but I'm very, very happy with Bayern today. I think it definitely is giving him some kind of boost of confidence, and he's probably going to be our goalkeeper for the rest of the FA Cup. So we're going to need him to have that confidence going into other games. But look, that's man of the match. The next thing I want to talk about, in fact, no, let's talk about the referee. Oh my days. I have never seen in my whole life of watching football, I've never seen a worse refereeing performance than that. He may as well have just wrote on his forehead, corrupt. He may as well have wrote on his forehead, pay me after the game. He may as well have wrote on his forehead, you can bank transfer. Because that was the worst refereeing. That has to be one of the most blatantly obvious, like, I don't want this team to win performances I've ever seen in my life. Before Dalot even got sent off, we'd already had about 5 or 6 yellow cards. Every single time a player got touched, he was falling to the ground, and the referee was falling for it every single time. But actually, no, you know what? Why was there no VAR? It's a big ass game, United versus Arsenal, and there's no VAR. 2025. What are you waiting for? What is the FA Cup not big enough for VAR? Is the third round not big enough for VAR? Go and get VAR. What is that? What is the dumbest thing I've ever done in my life? I get it, VAR can be poor sometimes, but the problem with VAR isn't actually the system, it's just the people running the system. The VAR should always be there, it's just the people running it should be better. Simple as. So VAR should have 100% been in this game. But in terms of decisions, Arsenal falling over at every opportunity. Referee was giving yellow cards here and there. He should have not. This is why I say I think it's just corrupt, because the referee should know that. Well, I'm giving out all these fouls in the first half, and I'm giving out all these yellow cards. Surely he's thinking, oh, maybe this is just an intense game, or eventually I'm going to give a bunch of red cards because I'm giving out yellow cards for every single foul. In the second half, he calmed down, and that's how I know there's something going on in the first half, because the amount of fouls that are going on in the second half and in the second half of extra time, it made no sense. Because why were you not giving out yellow cards then? Why did you just give out a whole bunch of yellow cards early on in the game? And you pretty much ruined the game, in my opinion, because the United players felt a bit more under pressure, because, you know, you're already in a yellow card. The referee's giving them out very easily. You don't even want to jump in for tackles. You don't want to touch anyone or bring anyone down, because you do that and all of a sudden it's a second yellow and you got sent off. I don't get twisted. Dalot probably deserved that second yellow. That was a stupid that was the dumbest challenge I've ever seen in my life. Like, he literally went through him. I think was it Havertz or Martinelli? I can't remember, but whoever it was had to literally jump over him. It was going to be a yellow card regardless. It was the dumbest thing it was the dumbest thing that Dalot did in that game, making that challenge, knowing that you're on a yellow card. But the United players were shook. They were shook because they knew that if they did anything a bit harsh, a bit too reckless, that's a straight or a second yellow, and it's going to be a red card. So you ruin a game early on, and then you go and give up the worst penalty I've ever seen in my life. Oh my gosh, that was the worst decision, the worst refereeing decision I've seen in my life. How can you fall for that? You're a Premier League referee. Like, you're not just some random guy from Sunday League, or, you know, you manage the academy, or you're not manage, you do academy refereeing, or you do this, you know, small refereeing on the side. No, you're a Premier League referee and you fall for that kind of dive. No, honestly, if he goes and referees another game this weekend or next week, the midweek games or the weekend games, PGMOL, whatever you call yourself, Howard Webb, investigate. Go and look at his phone. Look at the pictures on his phone. Go and find his burner account. Go and find his Twitter account, because he definitely has a Twitter burner account. That's an Arsenal fan page. Has to, because that was honestly one of the worst refereeing, you know, performances I've seen in my life. Honestly, horrible. But United still somehow persevered. And look, I mean, speaking on a couple of players, Maguire, great game, amazing game. De Ligt, amazing game. Both of those two defenders, in my opinion, just kind of solidified themselves as being our starting defenders this season, to the end of the season. And I'm pretty sure Maguire extended his contract for another year, so we've got him for at least one more year. But De Ligt, in the long term, you just got to clap sometimes, man. You just got to clap. In the long term, De Ligt, has, in my opinion, established himself that he can play there. And the problem that we had with De Ligt, you know, I mean, the Liverpool game was a bit of a disappointing game. Gave away a penalty, and I think he was at fault for 2 goals, actually, if I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. But today he showed that he can put on a world-class performance from defence. World-class. Second to none performance. And if he can continue to do that every single game, there is absolutely no reason why he isn't our starting centre-back every single game, you know, going forward into the future. Maguire's a bit different, because eventually he might want to leave. He's been there for a long time. He's a bit older. He's only got one more year in his contract, so I can understand why he might want to leave next year. But De Ligt is here to stay. De Ligt is here to stay. Martinez, another good game. He ended up front at some point. I don't know how that happened, but yeah, I think he took a good penalty as well. I know he took a penalty, but I'm trying to remember what it was. It went in, so it must have been good enough. You know, he went in. So Martinez, again, those 3, and even Lenny Euro, when he came on, like, before the game in my preview, I said I wouldn't mind Lenny Euro starting. I think he's very mature for his age. He kind of shows that he's not scared of the big occasion. He makes big tackles. Got a good IQ in his head. He can pass the ball. Very good player. Very decent player anyway. So I didn't actually mind if Lenny Yoro started, but after today, listen, you can put him in the team at any point. You can already start against Southampton, and I think he put in a great performance. But defensively, very, very solid. Going into that midfield, Mainu and Agati, again, a good performance from the two midfield. I think they've already confirmed, in my opinion, that they are the two midfielders that are going to be, here for the long run. Considering Ugarte is 23, Mainu is 19. They both got a lot of years. So, and they've got a lot of time to develop. And I think they both had a great game once again. And another player I want to talk about that actually came on in the midfield was Collier. The best Collier performance I've seen in that first team. Honestly, he was running around like wild. He was making challenges, making interceptions. He was keeping the ball well. He was passing it around when he got it. What a performance. And the thing with Collier that I liked was, I'm a huge Maney fan. I think he's, like, as a footballer, he's still the best player in our team. Yeah, maybe not by performance-wise. You can say a Bruno or etc. But I just think pure ability, the things that I see Maney do, I genuinely can't imagine anybody else doing them in the team. Sometimes when I see Maney get out of like a tight press, I think, nobody else can do that. Nobody else can do that. Everybody else would either lose a ball or, I don't know, they just lose the ball, or they'd have to find like a first time pass. Maney will control the ball, and he'll actually dribble through about 2-3 players and find a pass. Like, quick feet, amazing player. But what I will say is there are some parts of the game which I feel like still need to be developed, or he can work on in the future, especially when it comes to his mobility and him, getting back, him, tracking back, and he tries. That's a good thing with Maney. He tries, but I don't know, like, maybe he just needs to grow into it a little bit more, because he does feel like very slow when he is trying to get back. But Collier was literally perfect for that. Perfect. He came on and he was a lot quicker. He kept the ball very good as well, but he was up and down the pitch. He was, sometimes I've seen him filling out at fullback, defending Arsenal, because they had a lot of possession on the ball. But he was doing very, very well. So, I got to give credit to Collier. Then going forward, Bruno Fernandes, man, that finish, world-class finish. World-class finish. Not everyone can do that. And that's the thing about Bruno. People always talk about, he's a bit erratic. He loses the ball too much here. He's, he's not as technically gifted as like an Odegaard or these players. But at the end of the day, when he's doing that for your team, when he's putting the ball in the net, when he's creating these chances, when he's doing the things that these other players can't do, it's a luxury. Whatever you want to describe a luxury player as, I don't really care. But having Bruno Fernandes in your team is a luxury, because he can do things that other players can't do. Even last season, we were terrible. We still had Bruno Fernandes pulling out goals, pulling out assists, wonderful goals that literally saved us. He literally saved, and today, like I said, there's not many players on that pitch that would have scored that goal. When you go and watch it back, you probably watched it back already anyway. Everyone has, but after this video, go and watch back that goal and tell me how many players in that kind of moment, that pressure out, high pressure moment, in that position, is scoring that goal. There's not a lot of players that can do that. And he was the perfect player to be in that position to score that goal. You have to give your rating to Bruno. You have to give him props. He gets criticised so much, and sometimes it is deservedly so. But when he's putting in performances like this, these last two games, when he's coming up with big goals like this, you've got to give him credit. You've got to give him credit. And look, he did what he needed to do, had a great performance, and end of the day, as a captain, as a leader, second to none. There's a reason why you have players like Elanga speaking highly of him, a lot of other players in the team speaking highly of him. He's someone that the players actually feel connected to, they have a good chemistry with, and on the pitch, end of the day, they look to him for things when they need it. The players look to Bruno Fernandes for a spark. They look to him to do something when things are going tough, and he brings it. He provides. He has that X factor, and that's why, that's why he gets paid the big bucks, and that's why he's one of the best midfielders in the league. So look, I'm not gonna go on all day. Actually, let me just talk about Xerxes quickly. Great cameo. Obviously, he scored a winning penalty. A lot of balls to do that. A lot of people wrote Xerxes off after that Liverpool game, I think, when he came up after 30 minutes. They wrote him off. They got onto him. They even cheered him off the pitch at Old Trafford, which was disgusting. That was horrible. And he's come back and he's sent us through to the next round in the FA Cup. All of you people who cheered him off, I don't want to hear nothing. Because you're too... I hate people who like that, you know. I hate people who... You're super negative to a player, but then as soon as he does something good for you, you want to be clapping and cheering his name. No. Stay over there. If you want to hate and abuse Xerxes like that, there's a big difference between like constructive criticism. You know, saying, oh, Xerxes, he doesn't have this to his game, or he struggles with this, or he's not as good at that, etc. The big difference between that and then literally cheering him off, you know, abusing him online, writing all these negative comments and etc. There's a huge difference. And the people who were on that side, the negative side, stay down there. I don't even like the fact that you're part of the United fan base, but I beg, please stay down there, because I don't want you around the positive, constructive group. You know what I'm saying? Like this fan base over here, which understand football and how football works. Keep all that negativity over there, because at the end of the day, he saved us today. Not saved us, but he was a big part of what United needed to go through to the next round. And the way he waved off the Arsenal fans at home, that gave me Lingard vibes. That gave me Lingard, Millie Rock vibes. I don't know which one's better. Let me know in the comments. Which one do you think was better, the wave or the Millie Rock? Me personally, I might go with the wave, you know. I might go with the wave and the little gunshot. Nah, Xerxes was cold for that. The wave and the gunshot. Yeah. But the Millie Rock was dangerous, though. I know that one. I know that they felt that one as well. Millie Rock and the Emirates. But the wave to say, you know what? Bye-bye. You laughed at me. A lot of you probably laughed at me. But bye-bye. You know, thanks for coming. But look, I've been talking for a while now. Tomorrow, I might do a 5 things I've learned about this game. I've kind of gone through pretty much everything anyway, but let me know in the comments if you want to see that 5 things I've learned. If you got this far, let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Again, we're loading every day. This is a late upload, innit? Because I was filming, so I had to come home late and upload late. It takes a while. But great performance from the lads. We got the win, and I'm going to see you in the next game.